Hey everybody, I just want to talk to you real quick about something that's really bothering me. My wife and Cole and I attended Mercy's Cross, or should I say we attempted to attend Mercy's Cross in Sherwood Sunday. We were thinking that we might need a new church, and we kind of wanted to go visit some different places. And we went to Mercy's Cross, and as we walked in the door, a guy there stopped me. He actually put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Hey sir, I'm sorry, but the little guy's going to have to go over to the nursery over there in the other building." I told him, he's sleeping. I'm like, I'm not taking my 6-month-old over to another building and dropping him off with somebody we don't know. And the guy says, "Well, I'm sorry, he can't come in here. It distracts the preacher." And about that time, somebody walked by and he's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, man, their signs are up everywhere, and they did. They had big old signs posted everywhere. Said children 5th grade and below must go into their proper classes," or something along that line. And the guy, the person who asked him again was just like, "Well, why'd they do that?" He goes, "It's a new policy because he really got distracted last week." And I assume that he's talking about the pastor, because he just told me that it was a new policy that was put in place because they distract the pastor. And that to me says that's an ego for the pastor, for the ego to think that he's the most important person in the building. It's a church. It's there for the people. He's there to lead that church, but the church is there for the group of people that are there to worship God, not for him to be heard. It's not his little stepping stone that he can just get up there and tell everybody what they want to hear. So anyway, we ended up leaving. We didn't stick around. We're not going to take our child over and drop it off. And I've got a couple of concerns. One is, it kind of scares me. It's a Jim Jones type attitude. It's, "Hey, you come over here, and we're going to lock you up in this room. We're going to tell you what you want. We want you to hear. And then we're going to take your child over here, and we're going to tell them what they want to hear." And the second thing is that I just can't believe the way that families are broken up these days, that they would want to turn around and break up a family during worshiping God. Something that we don't see every day. You don't hardly see anybody praying before the meals anymore, and I'm as bad as anybody. But children don't see their parents worshiping anymore, and they need to learn by example, by sitting there next to you in the pew and seeing you look up to the heavens and worshiping. And they see us cheering for our favorite team or our favorite NASCAR driver, or hollering at some video game, and they're real confused that they don't see us praying to God and actually putting that kind of energy towards the person who's going to save us from burning to hell. And us as a family, we find it real important because Cole's our in vitro baby. He's our little miracle baby, and he was sent to us by God. We know we prayed very hard for this little child, and we had a whole church that helped us with that. And it's really important for us to be sitting there on the pew. So anyway, there's not enough room to put this up on Facebook. There's not enough room to put it on MySpace, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. The only social media that I could think that we could use it on is YouTube. Can't really throw it into 140 characters on Twitter. So anyway, speaking of Twitter, I did send a direct message to Scott Harness, the senior pastor, I think is what his title is on their website, of Mercy's Cross. And he stated back to me, and it sounded kind of rough. It said, "The worship center is not for babies. The nursery is for babies." And he couldn't soften it up. He couldn't really say anything politically correct about it, because you only have 140 characters to answer back on Twitter. So anyway, I am going to share this video with him, and I look forward to any kind of response that he'll give to it. But I also look forward to any responses that you guys in the community may give him. I think these folks have made a mistake. I think the policy has not been thought through very well, and mathematically speaking, if you continue to turn away new families at the door, such as we did, and we're not going back there, you're eventually going to have singles and empty nesters there, which means your church is going to hit a plateau at some point. And if the church is as good as it is, and I really think it's a great church, we got one of their little flyers from them on the way out the door. And they got a lot of stuff going on. And it does say right in the flyer here, I'll just read it to you real quick, as long as I've got it. "Due to the importance and the nature of God's message, there will be no children allowed in the worship center during services." I guess Words not important to children. Anyway, that was smart. Got a little drama to it. We ask that all children 5th grade and under attend the designated classes that they are designed to teach them in a fun and innovative way. You are not sure where your child should go, find someone in a brown MCC shirt and they can direct you to the Children's Center. And by the way, the fellow that told us that he couldn't come in there did have a brown shirt on, and I believe he was authoritative in that situation. But, you know, it's just, we are pretty solid in our relationship with God. And one of our friends posted on the Facebook posting that I said I was disappointed about it, that, you know, what if a family had just decided that they wanted to go and they were turned away at the door and they thought that all Christians may be that way, and it's just really sad. You know, I think the church is as big as it is, they can afford to do a crying room for the children, you know. And Cole's been sitting here with me right now drinking his bottle. He's quiet whenever he drinks his bottle, of course. But anyway, I mean, an occasional little coo, even a scream out, a singing along with everybody, is no big deal. I mean, I'm shocked that he would really want to split a family up. And, you know, and if Cole starts crying, or any baby starts crying in there, it's the responsibility of the parent to get up with that child and take them back to the crying room, and maybe even, you know, they have something where the pastor they can still hear him over the loudspeaker and still get the message while they're in there dealing with the child. Child settles down, you come back and you sit in, and it's just having that noise and that atmosphere around the church is just part of being a big extended church family. And that's what your church ought to be. It ought to be a big family. It ought not be this structured little square boxes to throw everybody in and force feed what you want them to hear. So anyway, no disrespect, I just really feel heavy on my heart about this, and I feel like that church is a big part of the community. Excuse me, little Cole. That you guys really ought to rethink that policy. So anyway, thanks for watching the video, and thank you for taking the time. Say bye, Cole. Bye. Love you.